And now, ladies and gentlemen, Paul Farahvar. It's not how you
Farahvar.
It's Farahvar. It's easier to sing it, just Farahvar.
It's Farahvar.
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 Yeah.
It's easier
Paul
to sing
Farahvar. Okay. All right.
I'm not singing it.
Comedy for Cancer. hfoundation.org. Paul Farahvar.
Shouldn't it be comedy against cancer?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Right.
We're not for cancer.
Or ends cancer. Comedy ends cancer.
Well, we're raising money for cancer research.
And
Comedy
the good thing
for
is,
cancer.
My understanding is that we're curing it, like after tonight with this show, that's it. Cancer's done.
No,
you know,
so-
because
no.
comedy
That-
is actually, laughter is the best medicine.
Well,
Oh, yes,
And it actually
comedy
does.
cures cancer, I think that works.
we're not actually curing cancer tonight. We're raising money to fight cancer for research.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that my jokes are going to kill and I'm going to end cancer. That's how it works.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I've
guys.
heard his act, and I definitely, that's what I think, because I came in, I had a nagging pain.
No.
And then I saw his act, and I felt a lot better.
It does not work that way. Comedy for Cancer, hfoundation.org.
My dad's
okay?
a doctor. I know how these
It doesn't work that way. Can we bring it in, please? Can we bring it in?
Yeah, okay.
All right. Are we ready to go on stage? Okay.
I'm set.
Paul
I'm
Farahvar, Patti Vasquez.
Yes, Vasquez.
Tim. What?
Vasquez.
Tim Cavanaugh.
Cavanaugh.
Correct.
Cavanaugh.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Is that it?
That's it.
Do we have anybody else?
That's all that we have on the show so far.
Are you sure? Okay.
yeah, well, wait a minute.
Hello.
What's going on?
What about the friendly stranger?
Oh my God.
And Jim Peterik. I
you
love
kidding
it.
me?
All right, on three. Comedy for cancer.
2, 3.
Comedy for cancer. That kind of, okay. All right, that'll work. Let's go. Farahvar.
Ladies and gentlemen, Master of Ceremonies, Pete McMurray.
Let's go. Get up. Wow, this is great. Comedy for Cancer. It's great to be in Downers Grove. Look at you people. We're raising money tonight. Research for Comedy for Cancer. Give yourselves a round of applause. This is awesome. Downers Grove, the big DG. Where's Denise Richards? Denise, stand up. She's not here. She's not here. You guys are known for two things, right? In Downers Grove? You're known for Denise Richards and that kick-ass water tower. How do you miss that thing? Saw it on the way in. It's just beautiful. Thank you again for coming. hfoundation.org is the website. I want to thank John Rott, who brought me into this. Give John a round of applause. I love him. So sorry to hear about your father, but we're going to make everybody laugh tonight. Will you please welcome our first comedian? His podcast is Singles Only Podcast. He tours all over the United States. Laugh Factory, Zanies. The very funny Paul Farahvar.
Keep it up for Pete, everyone. Put up for Pete. Downers Grove, yeah. Everyone here from Downers Grove or Lombard? Anyone here from Chicago? Clap if you're from Chicago. 5 people. Are there Southsiders here? Oh, yeah, okay. You haven't been there in a while because you said it so politely. You just clapped. Usually they yell, so like that. When I hear that, yeah. When I hear that, I duck and cover. Like, I think something bad's going to happen. I'm Middle Eastern. That's like if I came up here and went, Allah Akbar, like you would freak out. I grew up in a tough neighborhood, too. It was called Oakbrook, Illinois. A lot of doctors here. Are there a lot of doctors? Clap if you're a doctor. Where are the doctors at? All right, cool. Good. I don't like doctors. I don't like my doctor. He's always yelling at me, telling me, he's like, Paul, you need to take better care of yourself. Don't eat after 8 p.m., you're getting fat. Or, Paul, you're a constant disappointment to me and your mom. I actually injured my knee, so I had to go to my doctor's office, which is my parents' house in Oakbrook. And He took me to the examination room, which is my old bedroom, and he looks at my knee. He's like, oh, Paul, you sprained your MCL. It's the same injury that LeBron James had, but he was MVP of the NBA. I bet his parents are very proud of him. I'm like, I thought we were here for my knee, Dad. He's like, no, you call me doctor here. I earned it. Look what it says on the door. I'm like, it says Paul's room. Keep out. Like, where do you think you are? So I went and hung out with the receptionist, which is my mom. She's cool. I have a podcast called Singles Only because I'm single. Clap if you're single. Where are the single people at? Cool. 4 people. That's cool. You guys are young and single. That's cool. But this is your future if you don't try harder. Yeah. All my friends are married now. They don't set me up with girls anymore. They set me up with other guys in their lives who've recently gotten divorced to like hang out with me like on a play date. Like I had tickets to a show. I called my friend Dave. He's like, oh, I can't go, but you should call my accountant Bill. He just got divorced. I'm like, I'm not hanging out with your stranger accountant. He's like, no, Bill's a good guy. Give him a shot. I'm like, all right, let me see his picture. I actually went out with Bill. He's a good guy. He had season tickets to the Bears. He took me to the home opener. He bought me all my drinks. We split a hot dog. We got ice cream on the way home. He came upstairs. We watched This Is Us. My parents don't like that I have a podcast called Singles Only. My mom listens to it. She goes, Paul, I don't understand why you're celebrating being single. You're going to be lonely when you get older. And my dad was standing right there. He goes, yeah, Paul, it's not that bad. And then they started fighting for 45 minutes. It was awesome. I think it's cool being Middle Eastern. Recently, we had a celebrity become famous, more famous, Rami Malek. Clap if you guys remember him. He won, He won the award for Best Actor for Bohemian Rhapsody. Crappy movie, but still, whatever. I think it's cool that he won. I'm more impressed that like he went up to his dad one day and he was like, I'm going to be an actor. And his dad's like, no, you're not. Like, I know how that feels because I remember I told my dad I was going to join a band. He's like, get out of my house. I'm like, Dad, you're being extreme. He's like, go move with Kurt Nirvana. Like, I'm like, it's Kurt Cobain and he's dead. But I looked him up. He has an older sister who's an ER doctor. So in his family, he's second fiddle. Because Middle Eastern families, all they care about if you're a doctor or a lawyer and stuff like that. Like, they talk about their kids and they say, oh, you know, Yasmin is, got a private practice in Willow Springs. She has 55 patients this month. We're very proud of her. And Remy, he may go to law school. We don't know yet. Like, he just won an Academy Award. I know what that feels like because my brother's a doctor. He didn't beat me up as a kid. He just psychologically messed with me when I was little. My parents were immigrants, so they gave him the duties of writing letters to me from Santa when I was a kid. What could go wrong? When I was 7 years old, he wrote a letter from Santa that on the front said, if you're nice to your brother, you do everything he says, I will bring you all the presents you want for Christmas. But on the back, it said, but if you don't, I'm going to kill you in your sleep. Love, Santa. But here's how conniving he was. When I was like, you wrote that letter. He's like, let's show it to one of the adults. And he showed just the front of the letter to my mom. And he goes, who wrote this letter? And she wanted me to believe in Santa, right? So she goes, Santa, of course. So I became a bedwetter. And he became a neurosurgeon. So, yeah, he has 2 degrees, an MD and a PhD in medicine. I have 2 tattoos of tiger paws on my lower back, so. He did one cool thing for me, though. When I was 16, he went to the DMV and took a picture to look like me, which was hard to do because I had those clear braces, which were just yellow. And he had to close his mouth, and instantly, when I was 16, I became 25 and the coolest kid in high school because I could buy everyone alcohol underage. And we'd go to the same liquor store every day called Prestige Liquors on Ogden. Oh, they're not here, right? Yeah, I'd go to the same store every day, and the owner was Raj, who was an 80-year-old Indian guy who like thought I was my brother because I'd go in there every day acting like my brother. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm in medical school in Rochester, New York. I'm getting my PhD, and like he thought I was my brother, so he'd be like, oh, he asked me medical questions. I'd be like, oh yeah, just take Robitussin. Like I don't. He showed me something on his face once. He's like, is this cancer? Am I going to die? Is everything okay? I'm like, yeah, it's just a mole. Put Vaseline on it. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I feel bad, but then I thought about it. He was the villain, right? Because he was selling alcohol to an underage kid. And it's not like he didn't know, because how could I be in medical school in Rochester, New York, when I was at his store every day buying 4 cases of Keystone Light? Like, he knew. Speaking of jobs, my friend Brad just became a life coach. Is anyone here a life coach? All right, let's talk about that for a second. My friend Brad has never had a full-time job in his life or relationship for more than 3 months, and now people are paying him $200 to fix their stuff. I'm like, Brad, you sold pot out of our apartment for 3 years and didn't break even. Like... But you guys should use him. He's a good guy. I told him I'd give him a plug. I don't think I did that right. It's bradbaker.com. He owes me $1,300. So no, I actually had a lot of jobs before I did this. I was a musician. I was in 14 bands in Chicago. What's up, single ladies? I do comedy because I was asked to leave 14 bands in Chicago. Do you know how bad you have to be at rhythm guitar to be asked to leave 14 bands that you started? But that didn't work, so I became a lawyer. Yep, that's the right response. No, I really was. I was a full-time lawyer for 13 and a half years, but on July 3rd, 2016, I stopped to pursue a career as a full-time comedian, which is a nice way of saying that my law firm told me to stop coming to work. It's called fired for cause. But I did what was called insurance coverage litigation defense. That's what you do when you graduate in the top 99% of your law school class in one of the top 13 law schools in all of Chicago. But people always ask my legal thoughts when they find out I'm a lawyer, especially when things are in the news. They think I have some legal insight. Like, they're like, what do you think of this Russia Mueller report? What are your thoughts as a lawyer? I'm like, unless the report is for a property damage claim, for the bumper on a Ford Focus, I'm not really qualified to talk about it. But I live in Lincoln Park now. I live on a college campus. My parents dropped me off there 23 years ago. And recently we've been having problems with kids spray painting on the walls, and I always want to come down and like bust them, but I don't know what I could do, like figure skate around them or something, I don't know. I came down over spring break and I saw these 2 kids smoking pot and drinking like right where all the spray paint was. I'm like, hey guys, you can't be here. We got a problem with you guys spray painting on the walls. I got to ask you guys to leave. And the kid's like, we didn't do that. I'm like, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I can't prove it, but I got to ask you guys to leave. This is private property. And the kid just looks at me and goes, sir, which is my name. You don't understand. I go to Stanford, he goes to Yale, okay? I got a 36 on my ACT, he got a 32. We're not going to risk our scholarships for some spray paint, old man. I'm like, all right, jackass. Like, way to rub it in that you got 14 points higher than me on your ACT. Like, now is not the time. But then I started talking to them. They're actually good kids, right? Like, one of them's going to be an engineer, the other guy's going to be a journalist. I felt bad because here I am stereotyping them as thugs, which you should never do, right? And I'm like, you know what, you guys? Clean up after yourselves. Good luck in school. Good luck with your little party. And have fun in life and good luck in life. And I went upstairs and I called the cops on those little rascals, right? Like, learn about private property, nerds. Who parties without girls? And then about 5 minutes later, I came downstairs and I saw the cops actually responded. And I was like, hey, what happened here? And I'm a good actor. And the kid's like, this cop thinks we did all this spray paint. I'm like, he can't prove if you did that or not. He's like, that's what I said. I'm like, you guys ain't a lawyer, huh? So sign them up, right? Get that Stanford money. 3 weeks later, we're sitting in court waiting for the complainant to show up. The man who made the call, or woman, we don't know because no one showed up and I won that case. So better call Paul. You guys have been great. My name is Paul Farahvar. Enjoy the rest of your show. Thank you. Bye-bye.
What makes the Ides Foundation different is that they support basic science research. If you don't have high quality basic science research, you cannot get to the next breakthrough.
Cancer is something that's personal to everybody, and I think that's part of what's allowed us to grow the way that we've grown.
The only thing they care is to help fight cancer.
I was diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer, but I'm living well. So if I can help somebody else do what I did, it's clearly the right thing to do.
I want to kill cancer. I want to discover new approaches in the lab.
The Ides Foundation provides us with mechanisms for getting together and doing pilot projects and collaborative projects to really accelerate these discoveries.
Any charity with any disease is good. And then I learned kind of, when I had my own illness, that the research has meaning.
All this time, cancer cells have become smarter and smarter, trying to survive.
We just want to understand how it works. But that is important because that helps us understand disease processes, including cancer.
We look at new mechanisms of disease, new mechanisms by which we can kill cancer cells, which is what we're really focused on.
A lot of times the ideas that are the most effective come from unexpected places. They're new ideas.
The beginning stages, the earliest stages that allow us to really generate data that will convince the rest of the scientific community and the funding community that this is worthwhile to pursue.
And really that is how we get it done, is through the support of Ides Foundation, which is absolutely critical for the Cancer Center to do these things.
My dream is that someday we find a cure for all the types of cancer, and then the Ides Foundation will turn to another disease.
We are all here on behalf of our dad, who we lovingly called Pop Chop.
My grandma was diagnosed with breast cancer, and thankfully she survived. But with your help and a donation to the Ides Foundation, hopefully we can find a cure for all cancers, regardless of types.
Patti, Comedy for Cancer. I mean, this is the big deal tonight.
This is a great night, and I've actually talked about cancer in comedy before. I know it sounds daunting.
Really?
Yeah, I started talking about my great aunt Bernice, who actually wrote on my hand, the hand campaign. I know I've got
For
a few
real?
people here.
That was her name?
Her name was Bernice. Yeah, okay. Aunt Bernie. And I started talking about how we have to be honest about our bodies, and you can have humor about it. I have a whole thing called Save the Boobies for breast cancer research. So yeah.
Nice. So let's see your hand. Who's special to you?
My Aunt Bernice, my mom, who battled breast cancer as well. She had one breast removed. And my mom's from Mexico. She says, for the first time in my entire life, I know which way is left. It's much lighter. And that's the thing. You can't have a sense of humor no matter what you're going through.
Right.
So that's why we're here tonight.
All right, I love it.
Yeah.
I love you too. Thank you. Here's the thing. What a great job. I show up and people applaud. It's very strange. You should try it sometime. I'm very excited to be here tonight. This is a gorgeous theater. I love coming to Downers Grove. My GPS is always a little confused because I live on the northwest side of Chicago, and I always program it during rush hour. And she's like, "Are you sure? 88's under construction. You're never getting there." Plus, I daydream when I drive. Do you ever do that? Do you ever daydream? You're like, oh my God, I'm driving. I totally forgot. I do. I'll get somewhere and be like, I have no idea how this happened. It is, it's tough when you travel a lot because for me in particular, I love Chicago. I love saying I'm from Chicago, and people give us grief, They give us grief about our politics and our weather and our traffic and our teams. And I'm like, yeah, so? We are the most miserable, happy people in the world. Back off, We're not in New York where everyone's angry and if you smile, they think you're stupid. California, they can't believe that we live here. This girl's like, oh my God, how can you live in Chicago? Anyway, oh my God, it's so cold. Oh my God, can you live? Oh my God, it's so cold. Can you live? Oh my God, it's so cold. Oh my God, it's so cold. I was like, yeah, I can't talk to you anymore. Have fun falling into the ocean. Because I'm going to push you. I don't have time to wait for an earthquake or a mudslide, all right? They're falling into the ocean, right? They're losing acres of land every year to rising sea levels. Plus, they have fire season, right? And how long to live somewhere to realize that God doesn't love you as much as the rest of the country? It's like we're trying to shake them loose. We're like, get off, get off. You're expensive. Insane. Go away. But I love this city, you know, like when you go to other towns, especially in show business, you know, in California, everyone's got to be skinny. I don't fit that mold, right? Although I did have a guy in California tell me this. He said, you look good for having kids. As though if I didn't have children, I would have no excuse for the way I look. I can try, you know. It takes me 2 pairs of Spanx now. It does. I am standing up here for you like a can of biscuits. If you pop me open, poof, all the rolls come out. And you're sitting there thinking, wow, there's a lot more in there than I thought there was. Yes, there is. And sometimes women are very kind. They'll come up to me and be like, you're adorable. You don't look like you need to wear Spanx. That's why I wear the Spanx. If I didn't wear the Spanx, those women wouldn't talk to me. They would walk right by going, she should really wear some Spanx. I have to wear them because I have a muffin top. I don't mind. I have no shame. I'll tell you that. I have a muffin top. And I don't like that they call it that because muffin tops are moist and delicious. This is jiggly and it has to be cleansed well. It's like an awning in the shower. It's not right. That's why I can't wear jeans. They don't make jeans with muffin top accommodations. They make low rise, ultra low rise. You should shave that rise. I can't wear jeans. And here's a very simple reason, and I'm okay with it now. And here's the truth, is that I wish at some point in my life I had stood in front of a mirror and liked myself. Because I remember around 16 starting to hate my thighs. That's what I started hating first, were my thighs. I was a softball player and a sprinter in high school, and I had big thighs. Actually, my softball coach told me I had thunder thighs and that I should run a mile a day to make them smaller. I don't think he understands how anatomy works. That's how you build bigger quads. And I wish someone had told me that the reason I had thunder thighs wasn't that they were just big, is that they were powerful. No one ever said that to me. And now I own that, right? I have teeny tiny ankles and I have big thighs. I am built like a quarter horse. Which means I am fast out of the gate, but I cannot go the distance. I've got maybe a block in me. That's all I got. And there are girls who starve themselves because they can't stand the sensation of their thighs rubbing against each other. I don't know what that means. Not only do my thighs rub against each other, if I run too fast, I'm pretty sure I'm going to burst into flames, okay? There'll be Girl Scouts with sticks going, I think it's going to happen. Yeah. No, I haven't worn corduroy since I was in 3rd grade, okay? That's a safety hazard. I got big thighs. That's all right. Right now, my feet are about how far apart? Would you say about 8 inches apart? Right now, they're touching. My thighs are touching right now, right there. That's where they have to be for my thighs to not rub against each other. It's about a foot. Is that hot when I walk down the street? Oh, man. Look at the thigh gap on her. That is sexy. Yeah. That or she just got off a quarter horse. I don't really know. You have to be around people that, let you feel good about yourself. I guess it's a weird way to put it, but here, I'll give you an example. I dated a boy in college. Let's call him Tom, because that's his name. Daniels. And I asked him one time, I said, hey, how do these jeans look on me? And he said, well, if you don't feel good about yourself, why don't you work out more often? Right? All the women heard it the way I did, which was, you just called me fat. Right? Because I didn't ask him that question. I said, how do they look? Fine, good, not my favorite jeans on you. Those are all answers. Go work out more often. So I did. I kept walking out the door, and I didn't come back. That's right. That's how you have to do that. What I've learned since is that when men are asked those questions, they get defensive. They think they're being tricked into an argument. What's true is that the reason we ask you is because we trust you. Like, my husband knows how to answer those questions because I gave him flashcards. Why would I take another chance? If I say, hey, sweetie, do these jeans make me look fat? He's like, oh my God, you're amazing. I am so lucky to have you in my life. I don't even know why you're still with me. You're gonna need more, aren't you? Hold on a second, let me get to the last one. Oh, here it is. You make me wanna be a better man. It's in there somewhere. I love my husband. He is a sweet, gentle, kind man. He is a stay-at-home dad, which is what we say instead of unemployed. It just sounds better, doesn't it? Listen to it, stay-at-home dad. Aw, she got a good one. Unemployed. Ooh. Are you gonna stay with him? My mom keeps asking. I hate saying he lost his job because he knows exactly where it is. They just won't let him get to it. They're so rude. The doors are locked, there's a restraining order. When he lost his job, we had to pay for COBRA, which is the extension of your health care from your previous employer. And it is accurate. I think that your health care should be named after something that's gonna bite you in the ass. And I was looking at all of our options one day when we lost, all of our choices with his insurance, and I thought, we have really good car insurance, so maybe, you've thought about this too, maybe when I'm sick, I'll make sure I'm in the car. Make sure the seatbelt's on, and then hit something. Nothing big, like maybe a little Volkswagen Beetle, just so I'd knock that flower out of its vase. So I could end up in the emergency room and be like, I don't know, I got this tummy ache when I hit that Volkswagen Beetle. Could I have a mammogram while we're here? Because, no, I think the seatbelt just caught me. Not like I'm going out of my way for that exam. I don't understand how technology has come so far, and we still have to put our boob in a panini maker. It is mind-boggling to me. It's very strange. Because I already am so self-conscious about my body, and then, I'm like, it looked like a cartoon boobie or something. I wasn't sure. I was like, is that gonna snap back? Because my nipple's on the other side of the room. I don't know what's happening right now. So do you guys call with the results? Oh, you mail them? All right, you know what? I'll fix the other one later. This is fine. This seems like it worked out really well for me. Somebody asked me after a show one night, they were like, well, so you were talking about your boobs, so you're pretty comfortable with that. So, did you breastfeed? Are you thirsty? What are you? And then he goes, well, no, I'm just wondering if, did they get bigger afterwards? And I was like, well, they got longer, if that's what you're asking. I went from a 34C to a 38 long, so there's that. It's because I got heavy. I know they got heavy because I weighed them, which is not easy to do. I had to use a produce scale at the grocery store. And that was one of my favorite moments. You guys have been amazing. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Thank you so much to the H Foundation. I wish you all the very best.
When I hear about cancer, I think of the Goombay Bash and the things that they're doing and how they're reaching out to not only institutions but universities in the area trying to make a difference.
Here we are, we're partying for cancer, but we're partying to kill cancer. Probably one of the best arenas I've ever seen, one of the best dinners I've ever seen, one of the best auction display I've ever seen.
Every group and organization in the country, there has to be some leadership. This organization has great leadership. Everyone is connected with cancer in some way, shape, or form, and it's always painful.
Cancer is personal to me for a couple reasons. My buddy Edzo and Dottie, my mother-in-law.
cancer is very special to me.
Not only does it take a toll when they leave us, but it leaves a lasting memory for your life.
You know, that's the most important part. I think having a foundation of people that are willing to just never lose sight of the goal, and that is to find a cure for cancer.
When people walk in, they're amazed at the beauty, and candidly, they look up at the gold leaf ceiling, which has been repaired, and then they go into the auditorium. But they definitely notice the old-time feel and how amazing a suburban theater is to have this size and this grandeur. The H Foundation, everything they're doing is wonderful, and certainly want to support it. And it's definitely a local effort that has a huge impact. So we're happy to do whatever we can to make it happen. Cancer is personal to me too because of my mom. She was diagnosed 12 years ago, actually on my 40th birthday, and unfortunately she had brain cancer and passed away shortly thereafter, but definitely want to work to find a cure and have other people survive this form of cancer and all forms of cancer.
We're here with Courtney Fromm from the H Foundation. Great to see you.
Thank you for being here tonight.
Tell everyone how H Foundation and Goombay Bash got started.
Absolutely. So 19 years ago, an employee at Horton's Home Lighting and Ace Hardware in LaGrange was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 31. Unfortunately, she lost her battle, but the Goombay Bash was really a way for the organization to get together and do something in the fight against cancer. And so our first event, we had about 700 people, raised about $100,000, and now we've moved the Goombay Bash down to Navy Pier and have about 1,200 people that join us and raise about $700,000 in one night.
And it's the anti-gala where people show up in Hawaiian shirts and shorts.
Absolutely. So we want this to be fun. You know, cancer is a topic that not everyone wants to talk about. It's sad. You know, so many people have been affected by this disease, that 1 in 3 number. And so, you know, we want to have something that's always fun, that's upbeat, and it's an opportunity for us to celebrate those that we've lost, those that we love, those that are still fighting this disease. Cancer is personal to all of us. 1 in 3 people are affected by this disease. Cancer is personal to me. Just a month ago, my Uncle Dave was diagnosed with lung cancer. Unfortunately, John Rott Jr. passed away just a few days ago. And my Aunt Elle has been a cancer survivor. She's 96 years old and has been a cancer survivor for over 50 years now. So it's all personal to all of us, and we all have a story.
That's why we're here. It's personal, but we're going to fight cancer tonight, aren't we?
Absolutely. Let's find a cure.
Today I have my husband, Ryan Cosgrove's name on my hand. He passed away 4 years ago from cancer. He battled brain cancer for 8 years, and the H Foundation is such an organization that is so near and dear to me. What he went through and kept such a positive attitude throughout. I was very blessed to have a husband. Devastating to lose him at such a young age, but anybody that's watching this, if you can get out there and make a donation, no amount is too little, even a couple dollars, spread the word, let everybody know about the H Foundation. Thank you so much.
Cancer has affected me throughout my entire life, but most recently with my husband, George. I lost him 5 years ago.
For my grandma and my neighbor Brian, I just say tonight is the night to donate if you have the opportunity.
There are really 3 ways that the H Foundation support is used and makes a difference. 1, we have to bring the most recent cutting-edge technologies to the Cancer Center so that our researchers can do the cutting-edge experiments. Those are expensive, and the H Foundation support brings that equipment, that highly technical instrumentation, and the staff that can run it for us. And second, we have a lot of pilot projects. They're competitive. Investigators have to apply. They've really got to show us that they've got a new idea. And if it's successful, it can make a huge difference. And so we let those ideas get started. We can get them started before they're competitive for federal funding. And then finally, the H Foundation helps us build a community. We host seminars and meetings. We bring people internationally to Northwestern's Lurie Cancer Center so that we can share all the recent progress and learn from others. We recognize that for everybody in the H Foundation and their supporters, cancer is personal. and it is to us too. My father was diagnosed with bladder cancer a few years ago, had it surgically removed, and we thought things were okay. And a year and a half later, we found out that it metastasized and spread in his body. He was lucky. He got on one of the new checkpoint inhibitor drugs that were not available 5 years ago, but have put his cancer in remission, and he's been in good shape for the past couple of years, and we hope for many more years. Without basic research, 5 years ago, he wouldn't have had a treatment, and he does today. And we're working hard to make sure that more cancers can have treatments so that our relatives are saved in the future.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited.
Are you?
I can't wait.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. No, you know what? I've been practicing. I've been thinking about this for like 27 years. I've just been waiting. This is, first of all, I heard about the green room at the Tivoli, and it's like, wow. You know, it's like, I'm here, and it's like, it's not nearly as nice as I thought it was going to be.
Well, the stage is nice, and the theater is very nice.
It is really nice.
Yes.
Yeah, and I guess that's the important thing.
Right, of course. And
why are we taping it down here in the green room?
This
is not the best place to be.
It's a really good question. So let's cut.
You know what? Why don't we rethink this, and then we'll start over?
Well,
no, we can't do that.
No, we don't have enough time.
Hello. One thing that Pete did not mention in my introduction, and I'm pretty proud of this, I was just voted one of the top 3 comedians here tonight. So things are going well for me. Thank you very much. Thank you. This is my first time ever at the Tivoli Theatre, and it's such a beautiful place. As soon as I walked in, I said, I love it. And the manager of the theater said, oh, you're dyslexic. I said, why did you say that? He said, well, that's Tivoli backwards. I love it. And I said, wow, boy, you've got the right place to work. I'm guessing it didn't last real long when you were working over at Tums, you know, because I'll wait on some of these. Okay, I know we have some College of DuPage students thinking, oh man, this is hard. I didn't know it was going to be a show like this with a lot of thinking. So anyway, I am excited to be here. Excited to be back in Chicago. I live out in Orland Park, and which isn't that far, but somehow I ended up being late. I stopped out at the Orland Square Mall, and I feel bad. Boy, I made a woman cry out at the mall. She came up to me with a clipboard. She said, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? I said, no, that's fine. She said, on average, how much money do you make every year? I thought about it with the best straight face I could manage. I said, $250,000. She said, what do you do for a living? I said, I take surveys over at the other mall. And she didn't think it was funny, but I agree with you guys. It kind of was funny, I thought. I have a nephew just applied for a job out at the mall. He said the job applications have gotten very complicated. This one had a lot of fill-in-the-blank questions, a lot of true-false questions. One question read, when I'm at work, my mind is generally blank. He put true. Probably the easiest one, but anyway, I brought my guitar along with me. I thought we'd start things off tonight with some music. What do you say? Yeah, Tim, sounds like fun. Here we go. If you're an escaped convict and you know it, clap your hands. If you're an escaped convict and you know it, clap your hands. Even if you're struck by troopers, wave and smile. Don't be a pooper. If you're an escaped convict and you know it, clap your hands. If you take your pants off in public and you know it, snap your fingers. If you take your pants off in public and you know it, snap your fingers. Folks say, how's your better half? Drop your drawers on their behalf. If you take your pants off in public and you know it, snap your fingers. If you're having an affair with the person sitting next to you and you know it, just sit there. Notice a lot of you just sitting out here. We'll get to the bottom of that. So one guy snapping his fingers and trying to take his pants off at the same time. I tried it. It's hard. Anyway, I should tell you right up front, I do a lot of singing in my show. I sing all the time. I sing in the shower a lot. By applause, how many sing in the shower? All right, let me back up. Okay, how many of you shower? Still not enough of you, really. No, I love to sing in the shower. I don't turn the water on. You know, it's bad for the guitar. But anyway, it's good to be here. I'm excited to be back in town. I got home just in time. My wife and I are celebrating our wedding anniversary. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. We're very excited about it. And, you know, we've been married a long time. And I think it's important to keep romance in your relationship. I know, I still love it when my wife runs her fingers through my hair. I know you're looking at me like, Tim, you don't have that much hair for that. No, she doesn't have all her fingers. So it's a match made in heaven, really. And I did a show a couple weeks ago at the University of Utah. You know the name of their team? Utes, very good. Some folks over here thinking, oh, there could be prizes. Good answer. Guy up front looking for the buzzer, trying to get in. Just shout it out if you know any of these. Yeah. They're called the Utes. Now, I didn't realize that's a Native American tribe. I thought they just shortened the name of the state, slapped an S on it, called them the Utes. I was thinking, what if other states did that? You know, you have the University of Pennsylvania pencils, like, we're number 2. Probably the toughest team, University of Virginia. Oh, man, the Fighting Virgins, that's a tough team, I'll tell you what. A team that's never been scored upon, from what I understand. Can you imagine their cheerleaders? Go, stop, go, stop. When they play the Trojans, man, something's got to give there. It's a grudge match. A rubber match, I guess. Probably be a little bit more accurate. But anyway, as I said, my wife and I celebrated a wedding anniversary. And I wrote a love song. And how many of you are in love tonight? Do we have a few of you? And you know what? I'd like to dedicate it to everybody here who's in love tonight. What do you say? Yeah, Tim. Sounds like fun. Here we go. By the way, I think the prettiest song I've ever written. I hope you enjoy it. Here we go. I've never been in love like this. I cherish each moment. I savor every kiss. You're one amazing girl, and here's my vow. I pledge to you right now, I'll love you 24/7, 24/7. That's practically the whole damn day, every night, from 10 to 11. I've got another girl, she's a little slice of heaven. 24/7, 24/7, 364 days a year. It could end up being 365. I've got you penciled in case my Valentine dies. Oh, girl, I can't believe you're mad. My little love song has somehow made you sad. If it's the other woman who's caused those tears, imagine being her and the song she hears. 1717, 60 minutes every day, 3,600 seconds of delight. So come on, hurry up, I don't have all night. Oh no. To everyone who's in love tonight, thank you very much. Thank you. As I said, boys, it's fun to come back home to Chicago. I spent some time with my family. I've got a sister. She's got a weird job. She works for the Depends Undergarment Company. Oh, she answers their 1-800-INCONTINENCE hotline. I called up one day just to check it out. She answered Incontinence hotline. Can you hold? And wow. If I could hold, I wouldn't be calling. But a buddy of mine turned me on to a new hotline. I highly recommend that you give it a call. It's called the Sore Testicle Hotline. And you call up and you just get an answering machine. The guy says, hello, thank you for calling the Sore Testicle Hotline. If both of your testicles are sore, press 1 now. Wow, I'll bet that hurt. And then he hangs up. That's it. I called 3 times. It's like prank calling yourself. But anyway, I saw my dad this week. Now, he just had surgery. He had surgery on his knee. And I was talking to his physical therapist, and she said, we're trying to find just the right walker for your dad. So far, he seems to do the best with Johnny Walker Red. And my dad, 87 years old, still the most optimistic man I've ever met. Every night before he goes to sleep, he puts $1 underneath his pillow, hoping to get some of his teeth back. So I remember he was always very concerned about our health when we were kids. And I was 8 years old, and I had colitis. And my father came home and said, I want to keep a close eye on this. So he bought a kaleidoscope. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, wow, that's probably not going to fit up there. But my dad is a powerful man. Now, I asked him, I said, what do you see up there? He said, well, I can see why you're in pain. It looks like there's a lot of stained glass up there. Thank you. I thought I could get away with that because it's a medical thing. Anyway, you guys are a good group. They did not mention this in my introduction. Actually, I used to be a high school teacher here in Chicago. I was a religion teacher at Maria High School out on the southwest side. We may have some former students probably suing me. Now, you know what? I almost got fired from that job. One day, I told my kids it was all right to come to my class hungover. The principal got furious as I explained to her, aren't we supposed to be preparing these kids for college? She really couldn't argue with that. But and as a religion teacher, I always tried to leave my kids with something practical. Now I was teaching freshmen, 13-year-old girls, very nice, very sweet. And I always try to leave them with a life lesson. And we got to the story of Adam and Eve. I said, well, Eve, of course, made 2 mistakes. Number 1, she ate the forbidden fruit. Number 2, she settled for the first guy who came along. It was just the 2 of them back then. Hello, COD. Okay, all right. Anyway. You guys have been a wonderful crowd. I now have the honor and distinct pleasure to introduce a big friend of the H Foundation. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my friend, Jim Peterik.
Are you ready? 1, 2, ba-da-ba-ba-da. Oh, yeah. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da. You sound good. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da.
Well, I'm your friendly neighbor with the minivan. Welcome to the neighborhood. I see you got kids the same age as mine. We're going to get along really good.
I'm that vehicle man. I take the kids where they want to go. I'm that vehicle mama. And now I'm showing you know.
I go to soccer, T-ball, piano lesson, Sunday school.
Great God in heaven, I need to carpool. Oh, you know I do, yeah.
Well, I used to have a black sedan. The girls really went for that. Now I drive a Dodge Caravan and wear a little chauffeur hat.
Yeah, I'm that vehicle man. They're shuttled to the mall. I'm that vehicle woman, and they don't tip at all.
I go swimming Boy Scouts, 3 different classes of ballet.
Thank God it's Friday. It's Kate's 12th birthday. Chuck E. Cheese weeps today.
Well, I used to take. Keep going, it's fine. Here, come around. Well, it used to be a time to talk to my kids and their pals. Now they sit with their earbuds in and text one another's cells.
I'm your vehicle man. The 24-hour ATM. I'm that vehicle, baby. I can't believe how much they spend.
At Best Buy, Old Navy, Abercrombie, also Fitch.
Great God in heaven, I could have been rich.
I go to football, gymnastics, the finals of the spelling bee.
Then the 7-Eleven to get a Slurpee.
Slurpee. S-L-U-R-P-Y. I go to Heather's, then Rachel's, the concert at the amphitheater.
Great God in heaven, so help me, it's Justin Bieber.
Oh.
1, 2, ba-da-ba-ba-da.
You guys, thanks a lot. You guys have been wonderful.
Kim Cavanaugh.
Over 10 years ago, my grandmother was diagnosed with lung cancer, but through treatment and multiple surgeries, she was able to overcome it.
Cancer is a terrible disease, and we're going to work to extinguish it, and I hope it's in my lifetime. Please, please donate to the H Foundation and support this cause, because we want to rid us of this terrible disease.
I know there's a lot of different diseases and problems out there, but I think cancer is one that is so universal.
The first time that cancer came into my life was 18 years ago with a good friend who worked for us. But then when you hear cancer in the same sentence with your dad, it makes it even more personal, if that's possible.
I would say the first time cancer became personal to me was about 12 years ago. My dad was diagnosed with brain cancer.
He said, they told me today I have cancer. But at that point, we didn't, that's all we knew. That her concern was how are we going to tell our daughter, our kids.
I was diagnosed in October of 2015.
4 brothers total. I'm the third, Ben's the fourth. He was 5 years younger, the baby of the family. He said that he got a call back from his doctor and they had found a little speck of cancer at the top of his esophagus. Basically, a little over a year, I went from stage 1B to killing him.
We knew before we had the confirmation. I mean, he had a colonoscopy that they weren't able to complete because this tumor had gone through the colon wall. I'm thinking, oh man, it got us.
I'm the one that's going through treatment, but everybody in my life has cancer because everybody's going through it.
The end of radiation, You ring a bell. Friends, family, whoever wants to be there are there for you when you walk out of radio. It's actually really beautiful. And when he was ringing his bell, it was the day after my brain surgery. So I was upstairs in the neuro ICU. So he was ringing his bell while his daughter was recovering from brain surgery. So I couldn't be down there with him.
I want to be his legacy. I want to make a difference just like he made a difference in so many people's lives.
So she said that it's her life. She lived life with cancer. But I think her body just gave out. So it wasn't that she lost, it was time. She fulfilled everything she wanted to do.
He's like, I think I'm getting close. And he didn't give me a time, and I said, I love you, and that was our last exchange.
It's just difficult to see somebody go through something that you can only provide auxiliary care.
But there's no reason I'm alive unless that she's around. And not so much, for two reasons, because I want to be around for her, but also because she basically wills it to happen, with what she puts in the house and hey, we need to go walk and everything like that.
Instead of bringing out bad things, I think it somehow emphasized his positive characteristics. He remained optimistic. He did not feel good.
One of the appointments when they said it was coming back for me, and his was doing really good. And I said, Dad, I said, you should not feel guilty. I'm like, we need you to be okay. Because he said he wished he had what I had. And then his reaction is, but I have 30 years on you. He's like, I already raised my kids, you haven't raised yours.
I think the one thing she would really say is, just be kind to people. Let it go. Just let it go. It's one of the things she asked me the last night we sat together, is to let stuff go. And just be a better person. She always tried to be a better person.
I don't think of it as a death sentence, I guess you could say. I know that there are drugs that are going to keep it in the right spot.
When a doctor talks to you about trials, and a doctor talks to you about research and opportunities and things that could happen in the near future, you start putting the Ides Foundation into perspective that money, that's where that money's going.
For me, and for the rest of my life, it'll never not be something I think about every day. I'm going to think about Ben every single day, but cancer's like the second thought. There's all these other people in my life that I don't want to lose more people in my life to cancer.
They're everything, and I want to watch them get married. I want to watch them graduate school. I want to watch them do everything.
And I'll put it on my left hand because it's closer to my heart. Well, I'm inspired by his continued positivity, even when he wasn't feeling well.
I raised my hand for Eileen, my love of my life.
My dad is my hero, and he's my mentor. I've been inspired by so many people that have gone through this, but Dad will always be my inspiration as we go forward.
He's all my inspiration. I think about him every day. I want to honor him properly. I want to do whatever I can.
I think I'm alive today because of her. I call her Honey, so Honey's the way we do it.
Watch over us. Father, your sickness lives here in me. I don't